And now, live from New York City via Los Angeles, California, it's time for The View from Over Here with the man who has a view for all seasons, your host, Stan Weisleder.
Hi there, Stan Weisleder here in the studio with Malcolm Burman, our producer. We are on CRN Digital Talk. That goes out over the entire world, our planet. And for those who are a little bit more esoteric, we are on CRNTALK.com, which is the internet, and that goes out not only all over the planet, but into the far reaches of the galaxy and beyond. How's that, Malcolm? All right, hey, we got some very interesting news items today. Have you heard the latest, and I mean really the latest, from La Habra, California? That's a wealthy community of about 5,300 people on the Los Angeles and Orange County border. Well, that's exactly what it is, Malcolm. It's poop. Llama poop, to be exact. Or, if you prefer, llama shit. Some people thought that they could whip up a batch of an eco-friendly fertilizer that they referred to as llama brew. But they somehow forgot to factor in the intolerable smell from the open drums of animal waste that was stored in their backyard, and that the local natives, their neighbors, would be getting more than just restless. After all, everyone calmed down and took a deep breath. A Los Angeles Superior Court judge ruled that the production of llama brew has to stop. Now they can all breathe easy.
Well, what's the difference between llama brew and other excrements from horses that they use as fertilizers?
No difference as far as I'm concerned, but maybe they just had a few llamas, lollying about in their backyard, and they wanted to make use of their excrement.
Did you think it's possible that it's a part of that immigration problem? Because llamas are from, where are llamas from? Are they from Chile?
They're from Llama Land.
They're from Llama Land. And I don't know whether they're legal llamas or undocumented llamas.
Illegal llamas?
Well,
these llamas didn't have green cards. Anyway, let's get on with the news. Chefs now have to wear rubber gloves or use instruments during the preparation of food so as to reduce the amount of transmitted diseases, particularly those diseases or ailments that make you go to the restroom on and on and on. Like they say, look, Ma, no hands. But more important than wearing rubber gloves or using instruments, I think that the chefs and cooks who prepare the food that we eat should be required to wash their hands every time they go to the restroom.
They are required to wash their hands.
Yeah, and then maybe we wouldn't have to go to the restroom as much. They may be required to do it, but do they do it?
Well, there is a very funny episode on Seinfeld. And basically they go to this restaurant, George and Jerry and Elaine. And Jerry's in the bathroom. And the chef or the owner of the hotel comes out of one of the stalls. And he talks to Jerry. And he does not wash his hands. And he tells Jerry, I'm going to make a special salad for you.
Well, every time I hear about, 500 people on a cruise liner, they all came down with dysentery or whatever. I mean, obviously, one of the helpers that makes the salads, whatever, didn't wash his hands. I remember a few years ago we were in Las Vegas with a bunch of people, and we all went to the buffet, and whoever had a particular dish, it was some kind of rice dish, whoever had that dish got sick. So we figured out what happened, that one of the helpers who made that stuff, that rice dish, didn't wash their hands.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't go to buffets anymore because if you see, the food looks beautiful, but it's open. Who knows who put their hand in there or tasted it or what microbes or whatever got into it.
You don't know. You have no clue. I mean, it's just taking a pot shot at the potluck.
Potluck, okay. Getting to pot.
Well, not today.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you heard about Bitcoins, right? Well, thanks to the efforts of two entrepreneurs that are well known, the Winklevoss twins of Facebook fame. The Bitcoin, the virtual currency, is still with us.
Are the Winklevoss twins, are they the ones that sued?
They sued and they got a nice payoff, but
not enough.
Not enough. It's never enough. Anyway, did you watch the Super Bowl?
I watched it, and I know what you did.
Oh, yeah. I went to the movies. Right? I saw a great movie to the that was American Hustle, and then we went out to dinner with friends. The Winklevoss twins of Facebook. Now, how many of you people out there did watch the Super Bowl? The virtual currency.
I think it was like 111 million.
111 million. Wow, that's a lot of people. So I ask all of you mothers out there, do you want your boy to grow up to become a professional football player?
If he can make $25-30 million a year.
Well, they don't make anywhere as near that amount. Now, aside from being able to get laid all the time, which professional football players do, so I'm told, the job itself is not all that it is hyped up to be. Whenever you see a summary of the top 50 jobs in the country, the category of professional football player, it's always near the bottom of the list, usually 50 or 49. Okay, so that takes you that tells you what the job is all about.
Well, listen, my son plays soccer, and he's a goalkeeper in high school, and I'll tell you, sometimes he gets hit. And he goes down and holds his head or his leg, and I'm sort of...
Yeah, and they don't wear any protection when they play soccer. No helmets, no padding, nothing.
And not even a cup.
Not even a cup, thank you. To drink from?
Actually, the ones on the field wear shin guards.
Yeah,
that's
shin
mandatory.
Guards, right. That's
about the only protection they have.
Yeah, that's the most predominant part of the body that's going to get kicked or whatever.
But if which I never knew, take a look when those guys go up for what's called headers, and you have two guys trying to hit the same ball with two heads.
Oh boy, that must hurt when they
that
slide.
Hurts. Anyway,
yeah. Well, professional football players, they don't have a long life expectancy at the sport, and they all, they're always at the risk of having some kind of permanent injury. So who's at the top of the list? Well, whenever I look, the job that is always one of the top three is that of actuary.
An actuary? Do you know any actuaries?
I used to in my prior life.
Well, one day we'll go through it again. What the hell is an actuary?
Yeah, that's a whole program by itself. Let's not bore our listeners today.
Okay, what should we bore them with?
Well, here's one, and everybody knows about Puxatawney Phil, who's better known as PP to all of his furry friends and neighbors. He is a famous groundhog in, yes, sir, Puxatawney, Pennsylvania. He briefly popped out of his hole in the ground and made the prediction that we will have 6 more weeks of winter, but he definitely declined to predict who will win the Super Bowl.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I guess he doesn't follow up on sports that much.
Well, I know this was, I read in the paper, was the 128th anniversary time. I'm wondering how many times he was right and how many times he was wrong.
Well, we could Google it.
Now, if